I know I'm late to the party on this subject, but I still wanted to report on this and talk about it anyway, because I still think this gaming news topic is quite important to discuss with you all. Especially because this is a studio that Sony bought a while back, or I should say acquired a while back, and they helped do nothing but good things for Sony. And now all of a sudden, out of the blue, Sony decided to just pull the plug and cut all ties to the studio called BluePoint, which has been very well received by a lot of people, and they've been known for making a lot of popular games, and a couple of those games are actually Demon Souls, and I believe the Shadow of the Colossus remakes. I know Demon Souls got a remake. I'm not sure about Shadow of the Colossus, though. I could be wrong about that part, but Blue Point Studios has been very well known for making good games, and all of a sudden, Sony decided, you know what? We don't need this company anymore. Let's shut them down, and we're gonna cut all ties with them. So we're gonna save ourselves money because Sony, as a corporation, has no idea what the hell to even do at this point because they're just being stupid. I mean, let's call it for what it is. This was basically another one of Sony's golden geese that was doing nothing but good things for them. And then Sony decided to just, like I've said already, they wanted to cut all ties with them just so they can save themselves money, which, in my opinion, is pretty freaking idiotic and stupid because they've been doing nothing but good things for you. And this is all very concerning and interesting to me because I remember a couple years ago, Microsoft also did a similar move where they shut down the development studio of Hi-Fi Rush that won them a bunch of game awards and made them a bunch of money, and Microsoft got a lot of backlash for it. And now it looks like Sony is repeating Microsoft's footsteps and following in their footsteps, and they're repeating their mistake. I know I said that backwards and I mixed up my words there, but you know what I'm getting at. And there's an article that does talk about this situation even more. If you want to read the article for yourself, I will leave a link in the description down below so you folks can check it out for yourself. This article comes from TheVerge.com. I'm going to read it to you folks and then we will discuss. Sony is shutting down BluePoint Games, the PlayStation studio behind well-received remakes of games like Shadow of the Colossus and Demon Souls. According to Bloomberg, the change was made following a recent business review, a spokesperson told the publication. About 70 staffers will be cut and the studio will shut down in March. BluePoint Games is an incredibly talented team and their technical expertise has delivered exceptional experiences for the PlayStation community. A spokesperson told Bloomberg, "We thank them for their passion and creativity and craftsmanship." Sony didn't reply to the request for a comment. Okay, so right out of the gate with this article, there's already some bullshit PR language right here with Sony, considering that they are basically saying, oh, we thank them for their creativity and their passion. Hold on a second. Let me find my bullshit translator. Hold on. Oh, here it is. Let me tell you what it says. We don't care about our studios. They were a massive liability to the company, and we had to shut them down to save ourselves the most money possible because we, as a corporation, do not give a fuck about our other studios. So we are glad to get rid of them because we get to save ourselves the most money possible. So, in a nutshell, Sony just does not care about Bluepoint Studios and they just shut them down because they just want to save themselves money. And as a result, the entire community for PlayStation has been just absolutely destroying Sony for this corporate move made by them. And people are calling them out saying, "What the hell are you doing, Sony? Why'd you shut down one of your best studios? Sony, what the hell are you doing? This is a massive L." I've also heard reports that there was a lot of people that canceled their pre-orders for Sony's upcoming game. I think it was called Marathon or something like that. I don't know, but I've heard reports that they're canceling their pre-orders for Sony's next upcoming game. So, they're going to try to, I guess, send a message to Sony just to let them know how badly they really screwed up here. And here's the funny part. I was actually thinking at one point I was going to get myself Demon Souls just to try it out because I had a couple friends recommend it to me before and they told me, dude, you gotta try this Souls-like game out. It's really amazing. I know you played Neo 2, I know you played Elden Ring and Bloodborne, but you gotta try out Demon Souls, man. It's really that much of a banger. But after this recent business decision made by Sony, I don't think I'm gonna be buying Demon Souls. And that's a shame, man, because I have been slowly trying to ease myself into the Souls-like genre, even though I'm not really that much into Souls-like games. But hearing this report and this story come out and seeing what Sony has done to BluePoint Studios, it just makes me not even want to buy the game. And as a matter of fact, it makes me not want to even support Sony as a company, even if they're going to seriously continue to shut down these studios. Well, I guess this means I'm going to continue supporting indie developer games and I'm going to continue supporting these smaller studios that are independent and they're not tied to like corporate executive studios like Sony or Microsoft. We are now at a point in the gaming industry where you can be performing the best you ever can as a studio. You can win multiple game awards. You could be racking in all that money, millions and millions of dollars. You could be one of the most successful gaming studios out there, in a few days, few weeks, months, or years later, you could be shut down for your success. We are now at a point in the gaming industry where massive corporations like Microsoft and Sony will shut down successful gaming studios because they didn't make all of the money. They made some of the money, but they're not making all of the money. This is a fucking mess for Sony, man. As a matter of fact, this is a massive L for Sony. Like, this is a disaster for the company because now they just lost one of their best studios tied to PlayStation just because PlayStation wanted to save themselves some money. This is a goddamn mess, man. It really is. So, with this being said, thank you everyone for watching and for listening. And until next time, I'm talking about Sony shutting down BluePoint Studios. And I'll see you all later.